We can't plan from confusion. We have to get clear first. Hey friend, welcome back to the Chronically Planned podcast. I'm your host, Shant'e, lupus warrior, planning strategist, and mama of two. And you're listening to week 3 of the Becoming series, and this one right here, this is the shift episode. If this is your first time tuning in, please don't worry. But I do want you to go back and catch the first 2 episodes when you can. This series is designed to build on itself. We started with becoming still, learning to pause and actually listen to what we need. Then we talked about becoming whole, unpacking the emotional weight we've been carrying for years, and what it takes to actually eat the right nutritious foods to feel good. And now it's time for us to talk about becoming clear. Because here's the truth. You can be healed and still feel stuck. You can feel whole and still not know what the next steps are. So today we're going to talk about what it really means to get clear spiritually, emotionally, and so let's get into it. Welcome to the Chronically Planned podcast, where belief meets strategy and purpose is planned with grace. I'm your host, Shadrika Holmes, mama, lupus warrior, and the creative behind Lupus Speaks and Chronically Planned. This show is for women living with chronic illness who are ready to stop surviving and start building a life that actually works. Every episode is rooted in the Chronically Planned method, a framework built on belief, flexible planning, and aligned execution. So if you've been looking for a space where faith and planning meets rest and realness, welcome home. Let's get into today's conversation. We can't plan to profit if we're still planning from a place of confusion. We have to get clear on what we're building, what season we're in, and what we've been carrying that's not even ours to carry anymore. Clarity isn't about having the whole blueprint. It's just about knowing your next best step and making peace with the rest. Because confusion drains our energy, and when you're chronically ill or emotionally stretched, your energy is currency. Here are the 5 things that I personally had to sit with before I could really move forward in anything. Motherhood, my business, and honestly, my peace. The first thing that I had to get clear on is my energy. And what this looks like is just in my own life, slowing down from all the things that I was doing, taking a step back, and really figure out where I was pouring all of my energy into. Like what was draining me, what was no longer serving me, and how I wanted to actually feel within my body. And that's why I went through the whole eating better process, because I'm like, I have to be able to pour nutrition back into my body if I'm feeling sluggish or low energy. And I had a conversation with my good friend, Jenny Mack, and she just blessed my whole life. Basically, I sat down with her and she was able to look at my labs and really tell me where I was deficient in and what foods and how my body was absorbing things and what I need to let go of and how my body was breaking down food. And I don't know, it was just a really good awareness and teaching moment for me, because I'm like, oh, well, 1, my energy is low because of this. And then 2, just that simple thought of like how careless that I've been, or just not aware of me being able to read my own labs. Like, girl, you've been having lupus for 16 plus years and you don't know how to read your labs. Now, granted, I did not go to school for that, but it is just of knowing that I could have studied it, or I could have took the extra time to look into that and be able to see myself where I was lacking in when it came to energy or food, just to prepare my body for what I'm about to say next. And that is time. Time has always been something that I knew or felt like I didn't have much of, because, you're living with a chronic illness. Things are so unpredictable. You never know when you're going to feel your best. And so that was one of the main reasons why I took on planning, because I wanted to prepare myself in the best way that I could to be able to get the things done that I would like to get done. Being a visionary and saying that this is not the end of my story, it's just the beginning, and being able to prepare myself for what I feel God has brought me here to do, my assignment, my purpose. So just sitting in this, I really had to look at where was my time really going? And am I doing the things that matter, or just the things that I've always done? Really being in therapy and listening to some of my old patterns and unlearning those things, because the biggest thing right now that I've just been so bothered by is I've been doing the same exact thing, the same exact way, and I have been expecting, change, different results. And we all know that that's insane. And I just really, really, really wanted to figure out what is the best way to manage my time, because we all have time, and that is something that we don't realize has to be managed. Like, it has to be managed. You have to be focused. And that's what being clear is about, is having that focus and letting that be enough of what you need to do. So with that, the third thing that I had to get clear on is my direction. Am I building something that's aligned with me, the version of myself that I'm becoming, or am I just being busy, but just to make sure I'm saying I'm productive, or that I'm doing something where I feel like I'm stroking my ego enough to say, well, you did this and you did that, but am I really aligned? And this is something that was sitting heavy on me, because I'm like, oh man, I really want to have a successful online business. I want to have a thriving family, and most importantly, thriving pockets. One of my insecurities that I know I have is finances. Being on disability income for ever since the beginning, honestly, has done something to me. It's made me feel somewhat limited, that I can only be maxed out at this cap. And then this is all that is for me. And let me not come off like I'm complaining, because I'm not. It's been a resource to help me pay my bills and, be able to live on my own. But it's just not enough in this economy. It's just not. And maybe I'm just coming from a place of lack and not really understanding finances and money and stuff like that. That's on me, but I'm figuring it out, and I'm not even gonna, be negative about it. I'm just saying that it's something that I have been sitting with and trying to figure out the direction that I need to be going in. And I feel like I found that the number one thing that I needed to be focused on is God. And then two, myself, like my body, like my being. And, that's been helping me get clearer and clearer every single day. The fourth thing that I feel is very, very important that we need to get clear on And that is your story. Like, what part of your journey that you've been skipping over, avoiding, playing small, just complaining about, that part that you just can't stand in your life, or you just feel like it made the biggest impact and it just ruined or destroyed your life. You can say that this experience has done that to you. But what part of that story that could connect you to other women that you could be called to help? That thing that you complain or are so down and out about could be the very thing that takes you to the next level. Like, your story is more than your testimony. It's your way of connection and building with others. Sharing your story can really do so much for you. People do it every single day, and you see them just telling their experience, and you're like, wow. And other people are so inspired and moved, and then they're able to make a decent living off of their story. Nothing else. And just like realizing that and being clear on that and being like, oh my goodness, like this one thing I've been avoiding, like, oh, the lupus journey and the experience. And yeah, I share my story, but it's also been one of those things of like, people really don't get to know me through outside of the experience of having lupus, like what it actually has done for me, what it actually has taught me and helped me learn, and how I'm able to encourage others, and my mindset shifts and the things that I've learned and decided to do because I live with a chronic illness. That's transformation there, just getting in that zone and realizing that it's not that bad, that you can get something from this experience and help other people heal on this journey. So the fifth thing would be getting clear on is your skills. What are the skills that you need to sharpen, learn, or grow in? Not to hustle, but to lead with more ease and more confidence. Can you learn how to use ChatGPT? Can you learn how to use Canva? Can you learn how to speak better and communicate? Can you learn how to budget and finance? Like, what is it, something that you already have the skills in that you can sharpen? And if you don't have the skills, go learn it. It's not easy to do, but it's simple. It's basic. If you don't know something, you go figure it out. It's the same way when you're, in this zone and, you're trying to understand something. You go on Google and you're like, why is my symptoms like this? What is this? What is it? You go figure it out. So it's the same thing when it comes to becoming clear or being better or getting the things and obtaining the things that you want. It's really just learning and figuring it out. And obviously, planning is a huge, huge, huge counterpart to that. I believe that my expertise is planning because that is something that I have been able to get from point A to point B to point C because I actually sit down and map stuff out. Whether that's my healing journey, whether that's my chronic illness journey, whether that is my journey of being a mother and, running an online business, whatever it is, I'm planning it out. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking like, man, she is speaking to me, honey, I am right in the middle of this right now. I want you to take a soft step with me because this journey is supposed to be soft. It's not supposed to be rushed. It's just supposed to be done. I mean, you get it figured out, you get clear, you get focused, and then you get it done. My whole framework for my life is faith first, plan second, and then execute. Get it done. So go to chronicallyplan.com and join my weekly newsletter, because here I'm going to be more honest and have planning tips and soft steps to help you move without all this burnout, this hustle culture, this run yourself down. We don't got time for that. This podcast is where I talk, but the newsletter is where I'm going to walk with you hand in hand and help you get to where you're trying to go. And right now, I'm choosing my one thing, and I'm not going to spread myself thin. I'm not rushing. I'm just focused on this podcast and growing my email, and that's going to be enough. There are other things that I have moving and shaking behind the scenes, but for now, I just want everybody to come to a place where they are clear and they are able to become her, chronic illness or not. Clarity, it doesn't mean that we're doing every single thing. It just means that we're doing the right thing for this season. If this episode gave you something to think about, please go back and catch the others, becoming still, becoming whole. Let them meet you where you are. Stillness was the pause, wholeness was the healing, and clarity is the decision. You have to decide. And next week, we'll talk about becoming her, the version of you that doesn't know but embodies it. Because the one thing I know is when I'm experiencing this journey and walking this journey and taking you along, is that you have to embody and you also have to prepare for what you've been asking God for. So reflecting on everything. What do you need to be more disciplined in? What do you need to give up? What do you need to sit down with and get clear on? Make sure that you're subscribed to the podcast and my email list. That will be in the show notes, because we really just getting started. Like, we really are. It's so much stuff that I want to talk about and help walk you through. You're just going to want to tune in. You're just going to want to know what's next. So until next time, stay soft, stay grounded, and just keep becoming clear. Thanks for listening to this episode of Chronically Planned. If this resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe and leave a quick review. It helps more women like us find this healing space. If you want to go deeper, book a one-on-one power hour, grab your faith-based journal, or check out my digital studio where I help women bring their visions to life. You can find all the links at chronicallyplan.com or connect with me on Instagram at Lupus Speaks. And remember, your belief is your foundation. Your plan is your anchor. And your next step is where the magic begins. And until next time, peace and be intentional.